Are you a real estate wholesaler or a real estate investor? And do you think every single time you buy a property that you have to have cash, as in the full purchase price? Well, let me tell you something. You actually do not. There are options out there, and I'm sure you've heard about DSCR. You've heard about fix and flip loans. You've heard about bridge loans. You've heard about private money. You've heard about hard money loans. And I bet these three things that we're going to talk about today, you're not discussing or actually exploring the avenues. So guys, this week, I want to talk about three things that we can actually use as a real estate investor and a wholesaler to scale our business, close more consistent deals, and also put a little more money in our pockets. So, number one, if you're a wholesaler and you're not consistently closing deals and you don't have a very large cash buyers list, why not offer financing on your assignment agreements? The lenders that I work with, and I'm sure there's other people out there that are brokers or lenders, will allow you to assign your contract to an end buyer, which means you as a wholesaler, well, there's two caveats in this space. One, most lenders will have some type of cap. And two, you need to make sure that the pricing on your assignment is correct, because we ultimately have to get an appraisal. And that appraisal will dictate how much the end buyer can finance. So let's go through it. Step number one, your assignment. We have multiple lenders we work with. One has a 20% cap. So let's say your front end purchase agreement is $100,000 and you assign it to your end buyer at $120,000. That's 20%. The delta is yours. $20,000 will go to your Alta. Now let's do a somewhat of a not good scenario to where, let's say your front end purchase agreement is $100,000. You assign it for $120,000. The end buyer gets the appraisal done and it comes in at $110,000. So there's a $10,000 difference. A couple things can actually happen here. One, you and the end buyer can negotiate the difference to where maybe you guys split it, where you cut $5,000 off your assignment fee and they'll actually pay the $5,000 difference. So at least you're making $15,000. Two, renegotiate the price altogether and they renegotiate you down to $110,000. Worst case scenario. And three, you guys find some type of other alternative to capture the extra $10,000 to ensure you get paid. Those things can be done, but that's being aware of your scenario, being aware of what you can do. And there are lenders that will work with you on your assignment. It just has to appraise. So be cognizant of that. The appraisal is key. Valuation is key in this process. If you're going to open the market to other buyers that use end financing, there's not a single lender that's going to let that end buyer sign on the dotted line without actually getting it appraised. They're putting up their hard-earned money to actually secure a deal for you. So thoughts on this from where I'm coming from. I'm also a real estate investor. I underprice it a little bit to make sure that I fit within my neighborhood. And sometimes in neighborhoods where you do not have many comps to go off of, you got a very unique property, I know that's tough. One of those things that you potentially could do, it's free. I've tried it several times and it just didn't do well, is realtors. I love you guys to death, but a realtor can actually give you comps also for free and see where that takes you. But there's another option. It costs money, but if you're totally unsure, but you think you've got a great deal, spend the money yourself and get an appraisal done. $450 to $650 to protect your full investment. Good thing to do. That's up to you. But the number one thing that I get back from wholesalers is that they don't want to wait for the appraisal and the appraisal comes in wrong every single time. If it's coming in wrong every single time, do you not think there's a potential problem with your pricing? Let's just put it out there. If they're coming in wrong more consistently than not, that tells me, one, you haven't done enough market research to understand what your comps look like. And two, the neighborhood that you're in or the neighborhood that you're trying to sell is not supporting this deal, whether it be a fix and flip, a buy and hold, ground up construction, whatever the case is. So being conservative and understanding your comps is huge. And I know I'm preaching to the choir, but I'm trying to minimize your pain and minimize the grief that comes with that appraisal when it doesn't come in on number. Because ultimately, you can always say, oh, let's go get another appraisal. Well, that doesn't solve the problem. More than likely, you might have a little bit of a fluctuation, but in the end, it's going to be pretty close. Make sure that you understand that. There's plenty of AI models out there that can help you. Even ChatGPT, if you actually say, here's an address, can you give me a comp range on this address? I'm looking to buy it and I want to know what a fair number would be. Not saying it's right, but it sure gives you a place to start. Because ultimately, the appraisal is the hinge on all of this. The third thing in all this is your buyer's list. If you're limiting your buyer's list to only cash buyers and you don't have a large list, how are you supposed to move properties? Unless you're out there hitting the phones every single morning for 3 to 4 hours, looking for every cash buyer to get added to a list, how are you going to build relationships with them? How are you going to build rapport? When you send a deal to somebody, I'm on the opposite side of this. I probably get anywhere between 6 to 12 wholesaler deals every single day. There's only 2 or 3 that I have a relationship with. All the others, I don't even know who these people are. Have no idea how I got on their list. I do keep them because it's great research. It allows me to learn my markets better, to understand what's going on. But when I see these coming in hot and heavy and saying, hey, we need to close this by, this date, that tells me that there's not a cash buyer because the value's not there. So how do we do a better job of that pricing like we discussed before? But better yet, you guys have buy boxes. Your buyers will give you that. But how often are you actually making sure that buy box is executed on the deals that you're sending out? I know mine that I get, like I said, the 2 or 3 I know, they're highly targeted and I like what they send. Not always. The other ones, most of them are garbage, man. Dilapidated, beat down, not in my wheel space. If I was looking to potentially, knock them down and do ground up construction in those neighborhoods, if it would support the comp, then yes. But most of the time, no, I'm not looking to do a full gut. I prefer ground up construction, so I prefer lots because that's where our forte is at. That's what we're focused in on. So lastly, guys, is this. You want consistency, you want scale. I can help you with both of those in financing, but the other option is I work with Nexa Mortgage. It's where I hang my license, they say. We have a program that allows you to be a business development manager for me. So you can actually refer business to me and we can pre-negotiate in a contract in black and white. Every deal that you refer to me that I close, I will pay you X% or a dollar amount, whatever the case is, legally. You cannot be a licensed loan originator to do this. If you want to be a licensed agent, God bless you, you can all day long. But you cannot be a licensed loan originator. And this is one of the things that'll have to be done on a monthly basis. For this program to work, it's relatively new. We just launched it once a month. You actually have to turn in a single page of what you've actually done to help build the business and refer leads to me. If that's not a big deal to you, then here's another option for you to scale your business with another revenue stream and also bring more revenue in just for yourself, but consistently close. let's say some of those cash buyers are not hitting and you've got some end buyers that need financing on your deals or somebody else's deals, go do it. Send it over to me and I'll do whatever I can to get deals done. Ultimately, you need to know on a DSCR, fix and flip, buy and hold, bridge loan, the entry point to this game is their personal credit score. Higher the better. I do have lenders that'll go down to 600. I do have private lenders that'll go below that. You're just playing with fire when you're going below 600. It can be done. It might take a little bit more time to squeeze the deal together and make everything work, but it will actually close if I tell you that. I mean, that's just the way it is. Like I've said in prior videos, within 5 to 10 minutes, I can tell you if someone's going to be able to close on a deal. If they're telling me straight out the chute their credit is crap, it's going to be challenged. But if their credit score is decent, the lenders don't look at debt to income ratio. They're not looking at any other items on your credit bureau other than mortgage lates. If you have mortgage lates on your personal residence, that's a problem. And if you've got bankruptcy in there, that's another issue. But those three things are what I look for. And if they have any issues in those, then I'll let you know. But if they don't, more than likely we'll be able to get that deal closed. A strong likely. Hope you like what I'm sharing. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment. Hope you guys stay safe, stay healthy. I'll see you guys on the other side.